What is good, guys? SAMMIT here. We're in Lowe's, first Lowe's experience. Chris kind of hurt himself yesterday, so...
Yeah, I bruised my foot.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm lying. Courtney just told me she bruised her foot, and now I made that up, so now I'm a liar.
Okay. Well, Chris is a liar. Do you know where the coil pack aisle is? Anyways, I don't know what we're doing, but first Lowe's experience, I'm excited. We're fixing the Civic. We're fixing the Civic.
Yeah, we're getting bolts and washers. So
yeah.
You know exactly what
I know exactly what we're doing. Okay, now I'm a liar too. But we're gonna fix the Civic. It's a little bit beat up. I'll show you what I mean, but the turbo's falling off the manifold. That about sums it up.
You hit a train or a railroad going 80.
Yeah, that's true, I did. The thing launched in the air so hard. All right. Oh, did it just go flat? Oh, are you overweight?
No, if you get off the seat at all or move, it
oh, okay. Cool, so we're finding nuts and bolts. This is the longest intro I've ever done. Alright, so currently bolt and nut hunting. We already got the bolts that we need for the turbo, which are these Allen key ones.
These are the old ones.
These are the old ones.
SAMMIT was yelling at me because I didn't have any lock washers, but hey, guess what, mate? What is this?
It's a locking washer, but wasn't that on the top, not on the nut side? Alright, so we got this thing off the trailer. I gotta move it now because Chris has to get all of his cars out of his shop. We want to get the AC cranking in there so that we don't die, because today it's like 95 Fahrenheit right now, which feels like about 35, 40 degrees. So it's a bit fun. So we'll just move this a little bit. And look at that, the SAMMIT gauge holder 2.0 is doing really, really well. So I got the Civic inside now, and I set up Chris's really massive fan on it to try and cool it down, because we're working on the hot side. Everything's there is really hot from just moving it inside and stuff. But I do want to say that this thing, for something thrown together and as ratty as this thing is, like, it doesn't look great. It's got bent fenders and stuff like that, but like, it's just something you can thrash on non-stop and have a bunch of fun with, and I love that. And that's probably why I love Civics so much, is that you can just do stupid things to them that no other car would handle, and they love life. So anyways, we'll wait till this cools down and we'll jump into it. And I'm actually pretty excited to feel the difference, because I think this turbo's been loose and had a big exhaust leak since before I even got here. So pretty keen to see if this is a lot more responsive now that we get that all bolted on there properly. All right, so everything's nice and cool now, and I want to give you guys a closer look at what's happening here. So this is the exhaust here, and if I go and move this with my foot, you can kind of see what's going on there. The turbo pretty much is about to fall off. In fact, you can kind of see like the bolts are just hanging on the end there at this nut here, this bolt, as you can see. So yeah, that's probably like where most of the issues were with this thing making boost and stuff at the drag strip. It started getting loose there. We didn't have any tools to tighten it, so we just kind of YOLO'd it home like that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fix this thing up a little bit, get some proper locking washers and things like that onto there, try and get this exhaust positioned back into the spot where it used to be. I also want to get a vac line hooked up to this so that this actually like is working and going off. So I think this thing hasn't been running above this entire time. It's just been surging through the turbo. So I want to get this thing like, you know, making choo-choo noises, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But otherwise, just kind of tidy things up in here a little bit for Chris, and so this thing's in a little bit, you know, better and running when I give it back to it. And because, I mean, this thing pretty much all broke when I was driving it, though Chris never really took it for any more than a 1 mile drive. So driving it all the way to the drag strip, which was like 6 miles away, and then back again, was a really good test for this thing, and it just started falling apart everywhere. So anyways, all of that aside, let's get this thing back together now, and then we can have some fun. All finished now, everything's back together, and I'm actually pretty happy. I've done a few different changes as well that you probably can notice in the engine bay, just to kind of like make things run a little bit better. But as you can see, there's no play in this exhaust now. All the bolts are done on here. The one I replaced there, I've got it double wash it up. These are just going to keep coming loose, as well as I found that the bolts for the dump pipe here were loose on the bottom as well and hanging out. And it's just going to keep happening because there's no flex joint in this exhaust, and whenever this comes in contact with anything, it just shocks that entire thing. This is also what causes exhaust manifolds to crack and things like that. So I'm not going to be all that surprised if you know, this all comes loose again and the manifold cracks or something like that. So I did tell Chris that to pretty much just do a hood dump. It'll be so much easier. Or if he wants to keep this, put a flex joint in there so that it's got a bit of play and it's not going to shock everything in here and knock it all loose. I got the BOV all hooked up now. I also went around and did a little mechanics wire on all of his vac lines so that they're not going to pop off on him and, like, you know, his wastegate all of a sudden starts boosting to the moon. I also added his official sponsor, Red Bull oil catch can, because there was nothing on this and oil was spraying out here at the drag strip and kind of went everywhere. So that's that all sorted out for him. And overall, I mean, I just kind of tidied it up a bit and bolted everything back together. So it should be boosting now. We'll go out for a little rip, see how she goes. I have now done some more MacGyver stuff to this thing. I thought I was done, but then I noticed when I was checking over fluids that the radiator didn't have much fluid in it. So I topped it up and noticed it didn't have an overflow bottle. So I made an overflow bottle with some hose and another official sponsored Red Bull can there. So this should help the radiator and the cooling system be a little bit more legit. Once again, using mechanics wire as a hose clamp. And then I noticed that his radiator was just flopping around and didn't have a proper mount there. So mechanics wire once again. I know this thing is literally held together with like zip ties and mechanics wire everywhere. But it's just a car to beat on and have fun, so it doesn't need to be too legit, if you know what I mean. But anyways, that's that. Now we're gonna go take it out for a rip. I actually really like this. I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, let's get to it. So it's quick rip time. And what do you need for a quick rip? Well, first thing is you need your Duncan. Hopefully that fits in there. Yes, she does. And you need a Civic. Put that in reverse. E-brake off. Oh, helps if you actually do get it into gear. Dude, this thing's way more responsive now. Hell yeah, I'm pumped. Oh, dude, the BOV sounds awesome. This thing never had a BOV before. Let's go, let's go. All right, ready? The blow-off valve sounds epic. This thing never even had one before. Oh, Chris is gonna love that. Hell yeah. Just listen to this thing now with the BOV. It sounds so good. I can't wait till Chris can hear that. All right, so we're out on the main road. Let her rip!
I love it, mate.
Oh, hell yeah. Third gear pull. To like 14 though, so we probably need to add a bit more fuel.
It's pretty lean, huh?
Yeah.
It's pretty rich, like under 5,000, over 5,000 up with a heavy load. It gets a little lean. But yeah. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's a Civic. She'll probably take it.
Yeah, like 14's not really anything to worry about, honestly. 15, 16, yeah, you're in Sketch County.
Yeah.
All right.
14 will last a while.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Definitely not safe, but it'll hold up for now. You know?
She'll be right. All right, do a third gear pull. I want to see this 1 bar of boost. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man.
No worries, man. I'm glad this thing rips even better now.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Maybe needs a Haltech and a good tune soon, though.
No, it needs an S300.
S300. What is that?
It's like a Hondata.
Hondata.
Yeah.
I've never played with those, so.
Neither have I.
What are they worth?
$600.
600 bucks, damn.
And like you could just tune this like a normal, like Mega Square, Haltech, whatever.
I bet you if you tune this, you could make so much more power than it currently has.
I mean, I just want to tune it just because it's like, it's not as finicky and it'll be much more reliable.
Yeah.
You could just make more power so much easier.
It'll last longer too, right?
Because it has a Walbro, 255. It has G37 injectors. It has a bunch of things to like allow it to go faster.
Yeah.
But currently with the FMU setup, we can't push it anymore. As you just saw, it is running a little lean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. I kind of just threw this thing together and it was just like, let's just rage it. Like, who cares, you know? Just have fun. That's what it's about.
Hell yeah. this thing's awesome. Well, the Civic successfully got us to the junkyard, which is great. And Chris is now getting another lower control arm out for his car. If you want to know what's going on there with his BMW, definitely check out his channel. But I just look at this MacGyver stuff here, guys. Making him a nice roof, giving him some shade. Do you know what MacGyver is?
No, you keep saying that. I was just about to ask you, what the hell is a MacGyver? Okay,
can everyone please just spam his social media and comment section with links and stuff so he can educate himself on what MacGyver is, because he needs to learn that if he's working on cars.
It's so bad that you don't know that?
Yeah, it's definitely a skill you should know about when you MacGyver something. MacGyver's a character from a TV show. Well, after all that ripping, everything is still all there in one piece. And look, if I kick the exhaust, nothing's moving around. All solid, nothing came loose. The Red Bull overflow can worked brilliantly, as well as the Red Bull catch can. This thing is like seriously worth like another $1,000 after my mods. All the mechanics wires, hose clamps on everything. This thing's minty fresh. Definitely an upgrade compared to how Chris had it before. But otherwise, this thing is so much fun. I love this thing to pieces. Definitely need to do something like this to the Civic in Australia, but maybe a little bit nicer. I mean, one thing is like, best thing about my Civic is this doesn't have anywhere near this much rust, because in Australia we don't get like crazy weather. There we go. This is probably not the safest thing I've ever done. One-handed little bike thing. Yeah, this is sketchy, but it's fun. So I got in trouble for the first time with the police here. Stop doing that. In America. Apparently there are some neighbors around here that don't like us romping on bikes and drag racing against red cars. Someone sent them a video, and yeah, I didn't film it obviously because he was a really nice cop, and he just said, I got sent a video of you guys hooning around and drag racing each other. You can't do that. So yeah, I put the bike away. He said no more for today. And he said tomorrow would be fine. So, but I'm not here tomorrow. RIP. Anyways guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Thanks heaps for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Ciao, matane.